Hello everybody, Roberta Montagnini here, and in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to change the color of the eyes. Whether you want to do it for fun or for a particular project, I will show you how I do it to achieve a natural look. This is quite easy and fun in my opinion, and when I started using Photoshop nearly 20 years ago, yeah I know it's a long time, this was one of the first things that made me fascinated with Photoshop. Even until today, I'm always learning something new and Photoshop keeps getting better and better. So without any further ado, let's get started. So as you can see here, this is my already edited image and you can see that the eyes are green with a slight, let's get very close, with a slight halo in the center, you know, to make it more natural. I love sometimes when I see, I'm very fascinated with eyes, and when I see eyes with halo and a different color, I think it's so amazing. But this is because I have brown eyes, and although I really like my eye color, it's always fun to change. So I'm gonna show you how to change from brown to green. And once you change to green like this, you can change to whatever color you want. It's really easy, really fun. So to begin with, I'm gonna hide this green eyes for now. And while you're on the background layer, which is the brown layer of your eyes, you're gonna select the lasso tool. Make sure the feather is set to 0. And you're gonna try to, just make a little crop like this. Just make a selection first before you crop like that, and you're gonna hit Command J once, and now this layer here has your eyes. I'm gonna put brown eyes right there. So if I hide all the other layers, you can see my selection here. Okay, so with that, the brown eyes being cropped, I'm going to create a layer mask here, and I'm going to isolate that layer right now so I can I want to tie the image up a little bit. So I'm gonna make sure I'm selected my brush and I'm using the black color, and I'm just gonna remove anything that is not eye color. So it doesn't need to be 100% perfect, but it's nice to have it as tidy as possible. So yeah, I'm quite happy with how the eyes look right now. So I'm gonna bring back my background layer just so I can see what I'm doing. And now I'm gonna duplicate the brown eyes to have just another copy. I'm gonna hide the copy below, and I'm gonna be working on the copy. I'm gonna put like a number 1 here. So I'm gonna be working on the brown eye number 1. I'm going to click on the hue and saturation right now. I'm gonna colorize that, and I'm going to right click the hue and saturation, and I'm going to create a clipping mask, meaning only the layer below will be affected by whatever I do now. So I'm gonna keep my I'm gonna colorize that, and I'm gonna keep my saturation to around about 7, and maybe 258 for the eyes. And I'm gonna bring the darkness to maybe about here, and I'm gonna create a curve layer, and also I'm gonna right click it, and I'm gonna create a clipping mask, meaning everything that is everything that is clipped above the brown eyes here, clipped to the brown eyes, will only affect that layer. If that makes any sense. Sorry guys, English is not my first language and I do struggle a little bit. So I'm just gonna brighten up that a little bit. I think let's clip to this, there's a square here, four cubes. I'm gonna put right in between, in the middle of these 4 cubes, the eye like that, and I'm happy with how it looks. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's quite nice. Right now I'm gonna create another curved layer, but this time I will not clip it, not for now. And I want you to get a very bright color. Let's put it again right here in the middle. Maybe Yeah, let's keep that in the middle again. And you're gonna click this area here where the mask is, and you're gonna do a Command I, which will invert the layer. So this needs to be black. And I'm gonna create another one, and I'm gonna make this dark. Let's put this, you see the 4 blocks here? I'm gonna put in between these 4 blocks, dark, and I'm going to invert that as well with Command I. So I'm gonna name this dark, and I'm gonna name the one below light. Let's keep it all capital. Okay, right now I'm gonna be working on my light layer, and also I'm gonna put the light layer above the dark. Okay, do that. Now I'm gonna select my brush, making sure this thing here is clicked, which is the pressure point on my tablet, and I'm just gonna bring the size of my brush to around about 3, and I want to set the hardness to 0. Let's do 4. Okay, now what I will do, I will just create, also make sure you're using a white color, because you're going to be painting on the black, so you need the color to contrast. So right now I'm going to be bringing some of the brightness of that light layer by just stroking things like this, but as you can see, it's too harsh. So I'm going to delete what I just did, and I'm gonna change the opacity to maybe like 42 and 31. Why not? And yeah, I like it, because if I go over many times, I'm gonna bring a little bit, you know, of more brightness into it. So what you do, I just want you to give the eyes, you know, a little texture, because if you look close at your eyes in a mirror, you're gonna see texture. Even if your eyes are dark, every eye has got texture. So I'm just giving this beautiful eyes some texture, and you do this all over. Now I'm gonna click on the dark layer, and I'm gonna add some darkness to the eye. I'm just creating dimension. This is pretty much what I'm doing, just giving the eye some dimension, some texture, some uniqueness to it. And as our own eyes, this eye here that I'm designing is going to be unique for this photograph. Like, nobody will have the same texture, because I don't think I would be able to replicate this again exactly the same, but I could do something similar. I'm just gonna go back to the light layer now. I'm gonna increase my brush to maybe 9, just a little bit, and I'm gonna add some highlights to some areas where I wanted to have highlights. Also, what helps is to check your image. So if I want to check where my original image, you can see that this area here has more brightness, and there's a little bit of brightness there too, so you can sort of replicate the lighting effect on your image. And I'm going back to the dark layer and using the same big brush that I was using, and that is about it, what you need. And now I'm going to clean the layer, so I'm going to clean the light layer first. I'm going to use a dark brush. I'm using a dark brush to erase, because if my background is dark, what we erase that is dark. So just make sure now you have like a high number, and I'll give a little hardness to the brush so I have better precision. You can hide your dark layer so you know exactly what you're doing now. So I'm just erasing, you know, anything that bled over the eye here. Can zoom out. I think that looks okay. Now I'm back on the light layer, and I'm gonna delete everything that is in the inside of the pupil, like here. And again, And on the dark layer instead, now making sure on the dark layer, I'm gonna make this darkness a little bit more intense. So I'm gonna use the white color because I'm going to bring the darkness of it. So what I just did here is just to check what I've done. So as I can see here, I need to get the black brush. So I can delete this because I can see this is not in the eye here as well. Some of the things that I missed. So what I did here, I just click with my Alt Option key and it should get this panel up so you can see with precision what you're working on. And on the light layer you can see as well, so you can remove, you know, better like that. That was quite a lot here that I missed. Okay, now working on the dark layer, I'm going to bring this center of the eyes. I'll make it more impactful, more intense. So make sure you're using the white color now of your brush and you selected the dark, and just make it a little bit big, so almost the same size of what you're trying to paint. I'll unclick that, and I'm just gonna click slightly. I think like this is fine, and I'm just gonna give it like 3 clicks. So I brought the darkness to her eyes to make it more natural. It doesn't look natural right now, but it will look natural in a second. Now I'm gonna go back to the brown eyes, as you can see here, and I'm gonna try to clean up that as well, making sure my hardness is like set about to 19. And because I'm gonna be deleting on a white background, so you should use the white. So if this color is white, pick a white color to delete. If that color is black, pick a black color to delete. So now I'm gonna be deleting these colors here because it's on her skin. Like that, and the same again for this side. And as you can see here, you can see some of the darkness here too, so you're gonna have to remove that. So just keep polishing it like that, and again on the light layer. And again back on the brown layer, the brown color eyes, because there are some lashes here and here too that we didn't pay much attention at the beginning because we did not know how it would look. So right now the eye color, her eyes look very natural. Does not, I know. So this is how you should look for now, your eyes, okay? Now I'm gonna be working on the dark layer here. I'm gonna bring some halo to her eyes. I'm bringing some texture, and I'm gonna be using the white brush to bring that, and set hardness to 0, maybe 23, that's fine. I'm gonna make my opacity and flow set to 20. and I'm just gonna slightly paint on the edge until I start to see some change. I'm gonna increase my brush. I'm also gonna do this, making my brush slightly oval shape. And as you can see, their eyes are starting to look more realistic and have better form. And now I'm just like, you know, fixing the texture, giving it a better dimension. And I will do the same for this side. And I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna use the black brush so I can delete some of that halo. Sorry guys, I like minimizing to see how the image look. Now with the light, on the light layer, I'm going to be using my white brush because I'm gonna bring some more details, and I'm just gonna paint over where I want it to have some highlights. I think I did a little too much here, but it's okay, you know, you can delete. It's not the end of the world. I think I did brighten it a little bit too much. Now I'm going back on the light layer, on the dark layer, I mean. And I'm just gonna add some darkness here on the inner halo and on the outer halo. Yeah, that is good. Good to me. Now on the brown eyes layer, as you can see, this is how the eyes have changed. You can see that this brightness is increased as well, because when we made it bright, the whole thing was increased. But now I'm gonna remove that. I'm gonna use the black to remove that, making sure my opacity is like set to maybe to 90, and I'm just gonna paint over slightly, making sure I don't do too much, because this is what happens. You bring the darkness of your eyes, of her eyes. You just brush very slightly just on the white part of it. And you do again on both of those layers. Now it should look more natural. This is pretty much how you do. Like, there is nothing to add unless you want to change the eye color, if you want to give another halo, or if you want to make it, you know, a different shade. I do want to give it a halo, so what I do now, I'm gonna duplicate this hue and saturation. Actually no, I'm gonna create another one. So I click here, hue and saturation, and I'm gonna name this halo. Let's pick a very bright color, just so we know exactly what we're doing. So let's use this dark blue. And now I'm gonna use my black brush to delete some of the halo. So I can just remove like this, like that. I'm gonna make my brush slightly smaller now, and I'm gonna set the opacity to 20 and the flow to 20 as well. And I'm just gonna, again, that same movement that you saw me doing at the beginning. This is what I'm doing. So I'm just trying to make this area more flattering. I'm going to increase my opacity to 70 and flow to 50 to have a better precision. You do it again on the other side. Like that. You can zoom out to see what you're doing. And what you can do now to check if that is okay, you click on this icon now to change the color of the halo, and you can do maybe, let's see if, you know, let's colorize that, and maybe around here I think it's fine, because you can see exactly where you were working on. I think that looks good. Oops, too much here. 25, and that one I'm gonna change it to a green color, like that. I'm gonna work on the halo a little bit more, and you do it on the other side. So right now I'm just, you know, fixing the texture where I don't want color to be, so I'm just removing, adding, removing. And you can add another halo, so I'm going to create another hue and saturation. Let's pick a very bright color to see what we're working on. Let's colorize that. Okay, and now I'm going to delete most of it because I want it to be blue, greenish. What's this black thing that is annoying me? Remove this, don't want it. So right now, I'm just adding now dimension with colors. And I can just make this very bright, and I can pick maybe like a purple color. If you zoom in, so you can see what you're doing. I can pick like a dark blue, or maybe. And now it's really up to your taste, how you want it, how you like it. And now if you put this all inside, if you select the whole thing and you put inside that group like that, and if you add a hue and saturation above, clip it to this group layer, you can just change the eye colors to pretty much anything you want. Like, you can get eyes like that. So if I reduce the opacity, I can increase the brightness. No, don't change the lightness. So I can just play with this to have like a unique eye color, or you just leave it as it is, as it was. And this is the before and after. Before and after. And this is the other one I added, you know. Every time you do it, you're going to end up with a different result. So here you can see the before and after. And this is the one I just did. So if you add a clipping mask to it, you can fix more things. You can, you know, shape the eyes a little better. And I really like it. What do you guys think? Do you guys like it? Let me know in the comments below if you found this tutorial useful. Let me know if there anything that you don't like that I can improve and do better next time. If you have any requests, please let me know. I'm always excited to find out what you guys are struggling and would like to learn. And that's it. Please share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.